Hey everyone, I hope you are all doing well and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my December daily videos. Before I start my video, I just wanted to ask you to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my videos, and also please give me a like and leave me a comment and let me know what more you want to see from me, because I always want to do videos that I know that you guys want to watch, and today's one is a prime example. So in my last video I think I mentioned something about referencing, and a bunch of you messaged me back saying, I'm writing my essay right now, I need to know how to reference Harvard style, so here I am. I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible because I don't want to spend lots of time. It is super easy. I was doing a bit of research online to see what's out there, and there's so much conflicted information. When you look at examples, all the examples are slightly different, when actually it's so straightforward and really simple. So in today's video I'm going to be focusing on Harvard referencing for an article, a journal article. If you are interested in a book or a website or things like that, then I can also do that too in another video, but today I'm only focusing on how to reference and cite an article Harvard style. As I mentioned in my How to Get a 2-1 or first video, even to get 40% you need to show some sort of referencing, and referencing is super important for a number of reasons. Firstly, it's just morally important that you are showing that you've appreciated someone else's work and you are using it in your own work. So it's a bit like not stealing. You've given them credit and you've shown where you've accessed your information from. The second reason for referencing is when people read your essay or dissertation or article or whatever it is that you're writing, they might want to know where it is that you've acquired that information. So by having a reference list, you are able to direct people to the original source. So the reference should always be directed to the original source, not from a review paper that you found it from. You should always write your references from the original source, from the first person that mentioned that. Lastly, referencing also shows that you've done lots of wider reading. So especially for your examiners, and if you're doing a dissertation of any sort, you are required to read outside of the scope of your topic, outside of the reading list, outside of the recommended reading list, and you need to go and find different papers and show that you have done that reading and you've shown an interest and a passion in understanding the field further. An exhaustive reference list really does give you so many benefits and is most definitely required for a university style essay. Before I show you how to reference in the back, so in the bibliography, I'll quickly mention how you want to cite your references within your text. There are two ways of doing this. The first way is by mentioning the author and putting the date of the publication. So, for example, let's say the author was Wilson and he published this paper in 2002. You could write Wilson, brackets 2002, showed that and you write down the information on what he showed. Now that is one way of doing it, and that is your reference. Wilson 2002. It is important that you put the date there as well, because you want to make sure that if you do have, let's say, another Wilson paper from 2005, you are showing exactly which paper it is that you're referring to. And then at the end of the paper you will put your bibliography with the full reference. The second way is by paraphrasing. So you might find some information that you want to discuss and you paraphrase that and you write it in whatever way that you want to, and then at the end of that sentence you have open brackets Wilson 2002 close brackets. So what you've done here is you've taken the information, which is totally fine, you've put it in your own words and you've adapted it to try to explain whatever it is that you want to explain, and it shows that your basis for your information that you're discussing comes from Wilson. Now if there's only one author, like let's say it was just Wilson, then you'd only have Wilson 2002, but let's say it was more than one author, you'd write Wilson et al. 2002. How do you reference at the end of your paper? So you need to have a subtitle saying references or bibliography. So the first thing you need to do is have the author's name. Now again, it depends on how many authors you have. If you have one author, then you just write down the one author's name. If you only have two authors, then you'd write down both author names. But if you have more than two authors, you usually just write the first author et al. And et al kind of just means and continues and there are more. So after the et al, you have a full stop and you also have a comma. You then write down the date of publication. So whatever year it is, you write down the date. Then you end that with a full stop. You then need to include the title of the article. So you do have to write the full title of the article and then end that also with a full stop. The next part is the journal name. So if your paper or research paper, if your research paper that was taken from Nature, that would be Nature. If it was taken from Cell Biology, that would be Cell Biology. So you do need to italicize the journal name. That is a standard for Harvard referencing. Do make sure that you put the journal name in italics. Following the journal name, you put a comma. So after the journal name, you put a comma. Then write down the volume and the issue. So let's say it was 56, volume 56, issue 2. You'd write down 56, open bracket 2, close bracket. You then follow this by a comma, and the last thing you need to do is write down the page numbers of which your information is being taken from. In a journal, you would have a certain number of papers, so you write down the page number of your papers, not necessarily the page number where the information is taken from, but the full page number of that paper, that article. And you have finished writing your reference. That is it. There's nothing more to it. I've been looking online and I've seen things where they've written down where to access a paper and what website it's from. I mean, that's not necessary at all. All you need for Harvard referencing is very, very straightforward. The author names, the year of publishing, the title of the article, the title of the journal, the volume number and issue number, and then the page numbers, and that is it. There is nothing more to it. I also, just as a quick tip, I also want to say that on some websites where you can access articles, so I think Google Scholar do this, and I also think Mendeley do this as well, is that you can actually take the reference straight away. So if you, when you access a paper, you can just, there's somewhere that you can click. If I can find it, I'll show you guys in the screen. There's somewhere that you can click where you can access the citation straight away and just copy and paste it. And I am going to do another video on how to access journals and how to find articles on different search engines. But there is a way that you can automate this if you are interested, and I'm pretty sure that by now there might be a website where you can just stick in your information and find the citation straight away. Do make sure that as you're writing your essay you are continuously referencing. So don't leave it to the last minute and then go back and say, oh, what do I need to reference? It also becomes a lot more kind of cumbersome when you need to go back and find the papers. It's much easier to do it as you go. And yeah, I really hope that helped, and it's such an easy thing to do. Do give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Do leave me a comment and let me know if this has helped you and if it's made your life a little bit easier, because I really hope it did. And I will see you guys in my next video tomorrow. Bye!